This is Blake Temez with the Blake Temez podcast, where I speak as a Catholic layman to Catholic laymen about missional living, wisdom cultivation, and legacy building in service of Christ and his bride, the Church. Thanks for being here. As someone who is deeply invested in the life of the Church, and perhaps even works for the Church part-time or full-time, it's very important to keep a mindset wherein you're trying to constantly work yourself out of a job, that you're constantly trying to make your position, your role, dispensable. Now, this is achieved not by self-sabotage or anything like that, but by raising up people who can fill the same role that you're currently filling and do so with competence and perhaps even in ways that can take the role further than you are able to yourself. This makes it possible for you to leave a legacy of growth and development, and for your particular ministry to outlast you and what you brought to the table by being a part of it in the first place. This can be a difficult mindset to develop because, well, for many reasons, one of them being the sense of purpose, the sense of self-value that we often get from the work that we do can put us in a position to fail to see who we would be and what we could do if we weren't doing precisely what we were doing at the moment. And that type of scarcity mindset when it comes to an evaluation of one's gifts and what one has to offer can cause someone to lock into a certain position and even defend it very ferociously from anyone who might succeed them and basically take their place. And that can be a hindrance to your personal growth, and of course it can be a hindrance to the growth of your ministry, your church, or whatever type of apostolate you might be involved in. And it's much more beneficial to all involved if you take a more proactive, offensive approach, and instead of guarding your position, taking full responsibility for those areas that you're over at the present moment, while keeping an eye out for those subordinates or peers or whoever it might be that you can assist in developing skills that would help them to excel in whatever role you're filling. And this paradoxically often results in an increase of your value within the organization, because you're not just doing your job and doing it well, but you are helping other people to do their jobs and to do them well, and even creating members of your organization who can surpass you to a certain extent. Now, your real value in this scenario comes through your ability to teach and to mentor rather than through your particular skill itself. Now, that teaching ability, that mentorship ability should be paired with a healthy amount of experience and call it technical expertise when it comes to the area that you're working in. But even then, it can be a certain degree of excellence without having to be far and above every other person's capacities, if your ability to encourage, motivate, teach the basics, and create a legacy, is exceptional, and that you're exceptional in those areas. And the church would be well served if there would be more people with this type of approach. It would create space for younger people to step into positions of responsibility that they're often well qualified for, and would prevent a kind of stagnation that can come from the same people fulfilling the same duties year in and year out from season to season, and demonstrate to the church, meaning the local church or the parish, that the life of the church is a group effort that involves different people at different times and using a variety of gifts, right? That it's not just the responsibility of a small group of veterans or all-stars to maintain the status quo, but that there's a real dynamism within the community when legacy and a handing on of responsibilities and opportunities is a part of the culture as a whole. And so when it comes to your work as a mentor or a minister or a missionary, this is something that can fit in really nicely to the work that you likely are already doing with young men or with men in general. Seeing how you can cultivate the competencies of young men and give them the encouragement that they need to exercise their talents in areas that might be a challenge to them at first, but that can be an excellent source of growth and also a motivation to other parishioners in seeing that a young man is attempting to contribute to the church in a meaningful way. And that can be a real energizer, both for the young man as he faces those challenges in a guided and a mentored way, and then also to the assembly as a whole, again, as they see younger people caring about the future of the church and taking actions to promote its well-being. So those are the thoughts for today. Keep a mindset of developing a legacy and working yourself out of your current job so that you can increase your value to your church, your ministry, your apostolate by developing those skills to teach and encourage others to rise up in your place as you move from role to role. And so that's all. Thanks as always for your time and attention, and God bless you in all your efforts. Peace. If you're a young Catholic man or a mentor, missionary, or minister who works with them, or even just a concerned figure in their life, a parent, uncle, whoever it might be on the lookout for the release of a short guide that I'm putting together called Brothers by Blood: How to Forge a New Path for Catholic Manhood. In it, I'll expand on some of the topics in this podcast and give you some points of reflection to see about how you can be a part of a movement that empowers men and brings them to their full potential for their sake and also for the benefit of the church and, by extension, the benefit of all society. So, again, thank you for being a part of this, and look out for more information about the release of my guide in episodes to come.